Yeah. So, first of all, welcome to the Premier Technology and Innovation Confluence 2024, everyone. We are glad to have you all uh, for this webinar to share your expertise. So, this webinar aims to bring together a tech enthusiasts like you, the industry leaders and innovators from around the globe to discuss and explore the latest trend in innovation and technology. So, we will start our today's session, which is the topic upskilling in the era of AI and cloud adoption and shaping the future of tech competency. So, before starting the discussion, I would like to introduce our speakers and going in the alphabetical order. I will start with Miss Aishwarya Rai. Aishwarya has 5 years plus experience and a track record as a tech evangelist and a product manager in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and tech startups in India and USA. As a founding product manager at the current AI startup, she had made her efforts to achieve a substantial revenue increase. And as a former senior product manager at Indian tech unicorn, she launched 10 plus products, generating $4 million revenue over 4 years. Her research background is from Max Planck Institute, Germany in AI, and she holds a bachelor's in CS from IIT Delhi. She is a mentor for several early stage startups and entrepreneurs at the top tier incubators and accelerators such as Alchemist Accelerator, Faster Capital, and Growth Mentor. We are really happy to have you on board, Ms. Aishwarya. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Yes. So moving ahead, we have our next esteemed speaker, Mr. Pratik Jain. So Pratik has a privilege of working with different distinguished organizations such as Pitney Bowes, Infosys, JetBlue, Airways Corporation, NYU, Langhorne Health, ADP, and BNY, BNY Mellon Technologies, which are premier organizations in the world. Some of these comprise a Fortune 500 companies, and as a business analyst, his expertise lies in the business analysis within a cloud-enabled digital transformation. His expertise and wealth of experience have opened doors of different opportunities to collaborate with different clients worldwide, reaching across the countries such as India, USA, Canada, UK, Poland, Hong Kong, and China. So we have a distinguished speaker between us. So we are happy to welcome you on the webinar, Pratik. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Yes. So our next speaker is industry leader, Mr. Vijay Panwar. His journey from launching a startup to contributing to the in-flight entertainment experience is a unique blend of entrepreneurial spirit, innovation, and ability to work in highly regulated and diverse environments. His capability to analyze a complex information coupled with the comprehensive understanding of different technology platforms and their applications across different industries position him a very well informed, balanced, and fair judgment entrepreneur and IT leader. So we are really glad to have you on board, Mr. Vijay. Welcome to the webinar.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, and the last but not the least, Mr. Ketan Rathor. Welcome to the webinar. I hereby introduce Mr. Ketan as he is an individual who stand out as a true pioneer in and a guru in innovation. Ketan Rathod is such an IT professional with the 23 years of vast career experience in the exceptional leadership, senior architect level knowledge, and groundbreaking research and relentless pursuit of technological advancement. His impact transcends the borders, extending across the continents and shaping the future of AI, software engineering, and ERP systems like SAP, Salesforce, Microsoft, or Fortune 100 companies across the globe. Such a pleasure to have you, Ketan, at this webinar. Welcome to the webinar again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
So we can start, right? everyone is ready, so we can go ahead with the questions we have for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So starting with our member, Miss Aishwarya Rai. My first question will be to you. Like, what are your thoughts on the role of AI and cloud technology in the shaping the future of our industry?
Okay, so I think like if we so first of all, like if you consider only the part where we talk about just the upskilling part. So by upskilling we mean that like it is not just restricted to the offices or corporate environment alone, but upskilling more like at a national level across different age groups. So the main role of AI and cloud, which I see, is that first of all, AI makes it very easy to sort of convert the content from English into more like local languages, because in India especially there are many languages across many sectors, and people not everyone necessarily is exposed to like English or any other more common languages. But to reach them, AI is very super helpful in language conversion, first of all, and that we see with the help of tools like Google Translate and DeepL and all those other kinds of tools as well. So as and when AI starts to improve and get better, it becomes easier and easier to sort of convert a global content into more local languages and be able to reach out to people who may not be living in extremely urban environments or in big cities or something. And then because of like just the whole advent of how internet has developed and how like many of the people are having access to mobile devices and also to internet. So with help of cloud, it makes it much easier to reach people who are from underprivileged backgrounds, or maybe people who are not that much privileged to go to very fancy schools or very fancy colleges. So nowadays people can sort of just learn things via YouTube, or by spending a little amount of money on very cheap courses. So it gives them an opportunity to sort of for better employment as well, because these days it is becoming less and less important to have good degrees, but more important to have like good skills, so that you can work and get jobs and be able to provide. So I think in those ways AI and technology help a lot. So yeah, I think just to make education more democratic, and education is no longer now just available to people who are very rich or already very developed, but education and upskilling also becomes available to people who may not have access to resources, because now it has become so affordable with the help of cloud and just software technology in general.
That's the insightful answer for the question, Aishwarya. Thank you so much. So moving on to our next question to Mr. Pratik Jain. Uh, so Pratik, what specific skill gaps or challenges do you see in the current workforce regarding artificial intelligence and cloud technologies in particular?
Yeah. So I think several skill gaps and challenges emerge, presenting both opportunities for growth as well as potential barriers to innovation. And that's because I feel one of the primary challenges is the lack of technical proficiency in AI and cloud technologies among certain segments of the workforce. And while there is a growing demand for professionals with expertise in machine learning, and then which machine learning, neural networks, which essentially are a part of AI itself, and then cloud computing, many individuals within traditional roles may not possess these skills. And bridging this gap requires targeted training programs and upskilling initiatives to empower employees to navigate these technologies effectively. Uh, Having said that, the next I think goes in is the integration of AI and cloud technologies into existing workforce, and systems can accordingly pose significant challenges for organizations. Many professionals lack experience in seamlessly integrating these technologies, leading to inefficiencies and resistance to change. And addressing this challenge requires a holistic approach that kind of encompasses not only technical expertise but also the change management aspect of it to facilitate smooth transitions and adoption. Now, the next thing what comes to my mind is really regarding the cybersecurity and compliance, because I think as AI and cloud technologies become increasingly integral to business operations, the importance of cybersecurity and regulatory compliance cannot be understated at all. Yet, many organizations today struggle to maintain robust security measures and ensure compliance with the evolving regulations, because there are a lot of regulatory and compliance related issues with the evolution of artificial intelligence with regards to the economy of scale, or who actually owns a particular intellectual property in that sense. So I guess building a workforce capable of implementing rigorous security protocols and navigating complex requirements is essential to mitigate these risks associated with data breaches and regulatory penalties. And the next is, which is I believe the most important one, is the ethical and responsible use of AI, because ethical considerations, as I said, around AI, such as bias mitigation or be it fairness and transparency, these essentially present another area of concern for the workforce. And professionals need to be equipped with the knowledge and tools to develop AI systems that align with the core ethical principles and societal values. So that's basically my take on the skill gap and challenges around it.
I guess your information is really suitable for the institutions and also the organizations which train the workforce so that they can implement a, a healthy environment where people can learn and implement the things you said, right? Thank you for
Yeah.
the insights, Pratik.
Yeah.
So next question will be to Mr. Vijay Panwar. So what strategies do you believe are most effective for upskilling employees in artificial intelligence and cloud competencies, Mr. Vijay?
Yeah. So what I believe, like there are multiple ways like people can increase their knowledge, like online platform, others thing. But I believe five core things that is very important for upskilling current artificial intelligence and cloud trends. So the first thing is structured learning. Structured learning means the employee of the company, they should provide them a platform where certain courses available like edx, coursera, udemy and other platform. And also there is a aws cloud platform is available which can be company can provide, that will help them employ to continue learn and take steps forward what is the new trend is going on. And I believe for AI and cloud, these are the perfect platform to learning their self and enhancing their skill. The second is certification and micro credential programs. So those are useful because if we motivate the employees to take certain certification in their year end reviews, so that will help them to grow their skills to the next level. That will help them like learn how AI and cloud technologies are working, what new trends are coming, what new fundamentals are coming in AWS, what new kind of AI is doing in the market, like how they are handling a big data set, how they are handling like a flight monitoring stuff. That's the area I'm working right now. Second is, the third one is hand-on practice, like organizing hackathons or another competition inside in the company itself. So that way the employers can participate together in the event and they can learn and they can make a group discussion and share their knowledge with their colleagues, what they learn and where they are right now. So this will help them to enhance their skills some more. The fourth one is mentorship program. Mentorship programs is like if someone already have that knowledge, like they are at XYZ level, so they can guide the other people who don't have zero knowledge about the new AI trends or cloud technologies. So this will help them to grow, and the people who don't have knowledge, and this one is also going to help the people who already have knowledge and they are trying to help out the other peoples too. And the last one is access to learning resources. Like I said, like providing a courses, like letting them know like these are the courses, but providing them like the platform to them, like subscriptions or the other kind of tools that will like digital libraries that will help them to grow their knowledge. So these are the like five core things I believe is very important for upscaling in AI and cloud technology. And if people can like put them in their system, like if you do certain things in a particular year, you will get certain kinds of rewards for like achieving this. So this will like keep the motivation high for the people, and this will also help them to grow their skills as well.
Thank you so much, Vijay. So that's really helpful in the era where we are facing threats from the AI, while some people are threatening people or threatening the job force that AI will kill the career of theirs. In that era, you are suggesting to implement the knowledge of AI and own stuff to bring together and create their own programming or own skill set. So that's really helpful. So, going ahead with Mr. Ketan Rathor, my question to you is, how can we align our upskilling initiatives with overall business objectives and digital transformation goals you have? Over to you, Mr. Ketan.
Thank you for that. So when I want to speak about the upskilling which is needed, let's look ourselves 20 years back, maybe a little more, 30 years back. We transformed from a stage when we had our, giving an example, like the banking system. The banking system went through the paperwork which we had to today what we have, the most sophisticated softwares. So that doesn't mean that we are going to eliminate jobs. We rather added more jobs, to be precise, if you look at the statistics which is available freely. Now, we are entering the new stage. The new stage is where AI is going to take over many of them. For example, we have RPAs, robotic processes, which are taking up a lot of automation. They are shifting the jobs. That's what I'm trying to say. We are shifting the job from paper to software to artificial intelligence. That doesn't mean that we have eliminated any jobs over the period of time. So coming to upskilling, yes, there is a gap over here. We have the new cloud era, which is also coming up, which has rather come up or it's already there all over the place. How do we fill that gap? In my proposition, when we are trying to fill those gaps, we need to have the professionals go ahead and understand first their core process. When I say core process, I mean what's there in banking, let's say manufacturing. They should know their core process. Then comes the technology on the top of it. So the digital goal of a company married with the skill set of the team is where we are heading to. So from a skill set perspective, it's reasonably easy to understand, but not the core processes. So when it comes to the technology piece, we need to have those professionals get access, but first it should be initiated from the government itself. The government comes up with various initiatives. Just take today, compare US and China. The US government and the Chinese government, they both have a huge amount of money through executive orders which they have made, and they are forcing the companies to go into AI. That's the initiative which comes from the top. And when it comes down, it automatically, we have all the colleges, we have all the courses which is going to come up, and professionals will pick up, they'll take up speed, and then they will get access to it. Now, accessibility, which I think was picked up by a couple of the speakers here, is we need to have access to those courses, but we should also need access to those mentors who will make those things available to the team members. So it is a chain impact from a AI perspective where I see a skill gap. You start from the government, where it comes from a top-down approach. It comes to the professionals who create a requirement. Then it comes to the team, to the students, whoever wants to learn. It can be of any age group, and they take it all the way through by accessing those technologies. From a cloud perspective, even today, we have a lot of companies which have taken stride. Just take the examples of Amazon, the way they have been growing all over the place. I speak about even SAP as a company which is trying to get everything into cloud. So all of them are going cloud native. Now here, there is an element of understanding gap, which is what what am I doing? Am I sharing my cloud with someone else? Am I private cloud? Am I public cloud? Or am I in a hybrid mode? Whichever way you want, you decide from a digital strategy. Whatever suits, but the skill gap here is, how do people understand the next level? And once we go through that level of training, I'm sure the team members will be able to understand what is the benefit and what skill sets are we trying to underline over here.
Thank you so much, Ketan. What I understood by your insights are, this is the complete ecosystem responsibility. We
That's right.
can't totally depend on the single source, but we have to depend on the complete ecosystem to change and upskill our workforce. So that was a great answer for the questions. So next one, we are again coming to Miss Aishwarya. So Aishwarya, I have my next question for you is, what resources and support do you think are necessary to facilitate the successful upskilling programs, like we are in that discussion already?
Yeah. So if you talk about like, how to, if you talk about just for within an organization, and if you want to encourage a culture where people do adopt like, AI and data and machine learning related methods, or, cloud technology related methods. So, I mean, the first thing is that, first of all, we need to just, remove that fear from everyone's mind that their employment is going to go away. Well, because that really happens every 10 years or every 1 decade. Some change or the other is always happening. When the World Wide Web came in 2000, then again everybody was panicking. Then when in 2010 people learned how to develop like mobile apps and develop websites faster, then people would say that, hey, everyone who was developing a website is now going to be unemployed. But that's not really true. If you take a look right now, there are still people who make mobile apps, and there are still people who make websites and everything. So every time a new technology comes in, uh, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are all going to become unemployed. It just means that we need to upgrade ourselves and learn new set of skills. So I think, first of all, encouraging that kind of mindset is very, very important. And second of all is that so see, it may so happen that, for example, if I am in the marketing department of my organization and there are 5 of us who are working right now it may happen that, because AI has come or ChatGPT has come and all those kind of things, so now maybe instead of 5 people we just need 2. But those 2 are still very important, because if you may notice, AI gives you very like standard textbook responses. Like, AI never gives you very like fresh or creative ideas. So humans are still very much needed to provide those original and creative ideas. So all the organizations should have programs to sort of train their employees to use those AI tools better, so that they can focus on more strategy tasks and focus on more creative tasks. That, oh, okay, if my task is to send emails to 100 people, then maybe I don't need to spend 6 hours on it. Maybe AI can just do it in like a half an hour or something like that. And in the meantime, I can do sort of more like fun things, more creative kind of things. So being able to retrain employees to be able to use these tools, so that they can focus on more like high impact activities or more creative activities, that is very important. And then, like, second of all is just that as one of our panelists mentioned, that a lot of stuff right now, a decision needs to be made whether we are going to, develop a technology in-house or whether we are going to take cloud for it and stuff like that. So like for that, another, support which may be needed. So coming back to your question, the support which may be needed is just to have that kind of infrastructure within the company, because in general, any AI, data or cloud related technologies are very expensive, and it's not easy to just run an AI model on your computer. It requires a lot of time and money investment. So all those kind of infrastructure decisions are also something to sort of think about. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yes, thank you so much, Aishwarya. What I understand by your answer is we can do the repetitive task using AI, and we can include our human mind, which has more capability of creative things to do a more strategic work. So
Correct.
that's a great answer to the question.
Okay.
So coming back to Pratik once again. So Pratik, how can one plan to measure the impact of upskilling efforts on the business performance and innovation? This is must be related to must for business. So over to you, Pratik.
Right, yeah. So before talking about that, I would like to take a step back and kind of understand what it really means to measure the impact of upskilling efforts on business performance and innovation, right? So basically, measuring the impact of upskilling efforts on business performance and innovation involves evaluating how investing in training and development programs for employees influences the organization's overall success and their ability to innovate. It essentially aims to quantify the tangible outcomes and benefits derived from enhancing employee skills and capabilities in specific areas related to their roles or organization strategic objectives. Now, having said that, this was on a very high level the meaning of what it means to measure the impact. I would like to also touch upon, what Ketan, Vijay, and Aishwarya just said uh, while they were addressing their questions. So I think Vijay talked about taking up courses through some of the educational platforms and making that a benchmark in while evaluating the performance of the individuals during the annual performance assessment and all those things. Ketan talked about whether or not to go for the private, public, or hybrid cloud, all those things. Aishwarya talked about efficiency in the workforce and job replacement. So why I bring this up is because when you do the uh, when you do the planning of the upskilling efforts that the organization needs to put in, these are the nuances that any organization would think about, and that is the sole reason for planning to measure the impact and training the workforce within the organization. So that's the whole objective of it, so that down the line, if there are new evolving technologies, the workforce can quickly adapt to the changing requirements of the organization-wide projects, and be constructive and resourceful to the organization's investments in them. Now, this entire process, I think it entails assessing the business performance and innovation. So, in order to plan to measure the impact of upskilling efforts on the business performance and innovation effectively, I believe one can take different steps and measures, like firstly defining the objectives. Like again, I'll go back to the same example what Ketan talked about, right? Taking up the hybrid, private or public cloud. So when you are imparting any training to the organization or planning to upskill your workforce, these are the very nuances that the organization needs to think about, uh, not briefly, rather in a holistic and comprehensive manner, so that they are able to at least define the objectives, like why they need to impart XYZ training to their workforce. The next thing is identifying the key performance indicators, because selecting such relevant KPIs uh, will essentially help you in having employee productivity, time to market your new products, and customer satisfaction levels. All those things will be accounted in the in identification of the KPIs. Then baselining your assessment, wherein one can conduct a thorough baseline assessment of relevant metrics before implementing the upskilling program to establish a set level of benchmark for comparison. Then you need to also quantitatively and qualitatively perform analysis of the impact that will be brought upon through such upskilling efforts. And of course, when all of this is done, we need to boil down to one single thing, which is the return on investment and the correlation with business outcomes. So when I talk about correlation with business outcomes, we essentially analyze the correlation between upskilling initiatives and business outcomes to determine the impact again. So it boils down to correlating things, doing a reverse engineering of why you want to achieve what you're going for, and accordingly the ROI calculation will come into picture, because at the end of the day the organization is making such huge investments in anything and everything that they do for the workforce, of the workforce, or by the workforce. It's basically to it's basically to make more money and sustain in the cutthroat competition which is coming in due to the evolving technologies out there. So it's all about having how digital transformation can be brought in so that sustainable measures can be taken in during such trying situations. So that's how I would like to answer this.
Yeah, understood, Pratik. So what I understood as well, that this not just upskilling investment by organization not should be only the rigorous, but also should be the smart, so that they can take the perfect ROI what they are looking for, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, we are going again to Mr. Vijay to share his insights on next question. So Vijay, what role do you see cross-functional collaboration playing in the fostering tech competency across different departments?
Okay, so for cross-functional collaboration for different departments, I believe is very important. And why is it important? Because it's break down the instruments, the silos, the fostering innovation, and what other teams are working on and what other teams are looking to work on and solve the problem. So I'm gonna give you a real example in my workforce. uh, for past couple of years, I was working on how we can handle terabytes of data that is coming in our system. That's a weekly data. We are getting a flight data. So I was trying to solve the problem, and I'm able to successfully solve the problems after doing lots of reverse engineering, understanding the requirement and other stuff. On the other hand, we had a data team in different department. They are handling the in-flight connectivity data. That's like how passenger system comes. So they are dealing with the same issue because their data is not delayed, but the data processing is delayed by 3 to 4 hours. So when I open up a session with the cross team, like a lunch and learn session, where I'm gonna share what I achieved in last few months, what I learned, and how I resolve that critical problem. The other team also join. Their manager join, their team lead join, and they learn like what I did, how I achieved those goals. So that help like a cross functional collaboration here. And after that, that team reached me out in person. I guided them how to achieve what I did and what are the challenges they are facing and how we can solve that issue. And that is on the cloud. It's not like we have on-prem or anything. That's like a cloud issues they are facing, and I solve those issues on time. And how I managed to handling a terabytes of data like to have a live data, process them in a within a minute when all the applied data is coming. So that's like what I feel cross functional is very important for any organization, because if because they put so much time and effort to get someone on board, train them to do their job, and when they are stuck they start looking for something outside of the company. But instead of doing that, if they have like sessions where people will share what they achieve in last couple of months, what are the technology, what are the new trends they are learning, and how did they solve their problems to achieve their goals, and if other teams are facing the same issue, by cross collaboration they can able to learn and move on from there. So for achieving those things there is a three very easy steps we can that anyone can follow. The first is knowledge sharing sessions. Knowledge sharing sessions like the like they can have like lunch and learn, they have like a get together in the like every week or bi-weekly, and someone from the team can collaborate like what I work in past year, what are the challenges I face, and what are the new technology I am using, either it's artificial intelligence, cloud technology, or what kind of what or how I improve my indexing. Like they are like very common steps we can follow and achieve. The second is joint initiative projects. So every company, their products either used by customer or internal, like data processing, either the ordering of food, that's like customer facing. So that's like involve multiple cross team in any departments. For example, marketing, the HR operation, the customer facing team like CPC or any other people. So we can like bring them at one place and then provide them hand-on experience and provide them like insight, like I'm using AI for handling this data, I'm using X cloud technology, for example Amazon web services or AWS API gateway or RDS instances, how I am like auto scaling them. So that way like real world will bring at one place, and this will give them like solve their business problem, and this will also give them insight how I am solving my problems, or how business is taking to the next steps by taking initiatives. And the last one is very important, that is called cross training. Cross training means like if one team is using cloud and the other team is trying to migrate from on-prem to cloud, so we can train them what the process we followed, what the process they can follow, what kind of mistakes we did, what we learned, so the other team won't be like jump into the same issues, and they can able to solve the problem very fast and move on from one steps to next step very easily. So these are like the three steps, but cross functional in between the corporation is very important, and that's how you can train your employees and achieve your goals.
So that's a great explanation for the corporate networking and the importance of corporate networking for employees as well as the business. So thank you so much for your insights, Vijay. So
Thank you.
we are continuing with Mr. Ketan Rathor. So my next question to you, Ketan, is how can we ensure that upskilling initiatives are inclusive and accessible to all employees, regardless of their background of role, like non-tech or technical background, whatever it is. So what's your views on this?
That's a good, the question itself has some answer into it. Is irrespective of the role and irrespective of where they are, they should have access to the knowledge. Yes, even the CEO of a company, if he says that he knows it, no, he's trying to make sense out of it. Otherwise, his business would have grown multifold. Just take some good companies which are doing very well today in the across the globe. In fact, in AI, we have NVIDIA, which is in a different trajectory altogether. So when it comes to knowledge, even a company like NVIDIA, or let's take Apple as an example, where the US government is trying to push and see why they are in a near monopoly. The innovation is at a totally different level. So the challenge at that level is how will you ensure that how my technology, the latest technology, is going to help me in my business? Well, it will help you in your business for sure, but it has to be accessible to all. so that it has to be partitioned by the training team with a definite budget from the company. That's the first place. So you have a specific budget which says, okay, I'm going to devote X number of dollars or rupees to this particular training team. You then pick up the right choices. We have different type of technologies. Some people are geeks. They want to have knowledge on those specific technologies. Then you choose the right team members from outside who will come and upskill. Now, when they come and upskill, they shouldn't give a generic training background and then have those employees leave the company. Now, that's not going to help us also. So how does it align to our business strategy? How does it align to our digital transformation plan across 5 years, 3 years? So you put those specific technologies on the spotlight, make it accessible through the human resource team, who will then ensure that we have the right team in place. Because you're going to invest on something with which, even if you get some payback from it, that's what you need today. Then comes the business managers who actually know the domain of their business. They know exactly what and how to run the business. So they need to understand how to harness the skill of those technology geeks who are making it. Then comes the managers who are going to manage all these team members and how are going to translate those things as business analysts to the business team. And at the end is the product which is getting developed. At the end, it is the growth which is going to get transformed from a profitability versus. So this is the end goal. So to come back to your question is, we need to have platforms which are inherited inside the organization, which can be accessible anytime, because out of the 8 hours which you are devoting to your company, you are going to give your productivity. You will have to, the system has to be accessible freely, anytime, anywhere, so that the employees go and look at the system, and when needed, when they do some of their homework in advance, they come to a training session where the industry leaders come and teach them, this is how you want to operate, this is how you can achieve your goals. That's the first level. Second level comes when you have projects getting defined. When a project is defined in a company, it's the job of the HR, including the training department, to see how can I upskill the existing workforce so that they start becoming productive to your projects, which is going to help in your bottom line and the top line of your company. And the last piece is employees themselves will have to be flexible. They can't just say that it's the 8 hours under which I'm going to learn. No, learning has no boundaries. You do that on a weekend, you do outside the office, you're relaxing and you read a book just the same way you upskill yourself. Else, there's a very famous saying, who moved my cheese? So that's what's going to happen, that someone else will take away your position and you will feel that I'm on the wrong path. No, the company has given you the platform. You can access it anytime, anywhere, put in your efforts and increase your learning ability. And once you do that, then you get the right platform, because the companies are giving you the platform to implement your knowledge. When you are in a college, when you are in other places, you just learn, because that's what is supposed to be done. Here you learn and you implement. That's the best way of learning. So we should start with the companies first giving me an environment to learn it anywhere, anyhow, have mentorship within the company, and then the company should design those processes in a way that it initiates and helps in the company growth. Thank you.
That was impressive and as well as realistic insights by you, Ketan. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, we are moving ahead on the last section of the webinar. So my next question will be to the Mr. Pratik. So Pratik, how can the prompt engineering techniques will be leveraged to enhance user interaction and learning experience in upskilling initiatives that are aimed at artificial intelligence and cloud technologies?
Okay, so prompt engineering, that's a fancy word, I think. With the evolution of this Gen AI and all of these AI technologies and tools, I don't think industry has coined such a term, but more so people who are the tech enthusiasts, they themselves have coined this word. So I'm sorry. So in my opinion, I think what prompt engineering means is it basically involves the deliberate design and implementation of prompts within the interactive system to guide user behavior so as to facilitate learning or any prompt specific actions or responses. And these prompts can take various forms, including, say, the textual cues or the graphical indicators, uh, the interactive elements that it has, or even multimedia content to that extent, right? And these are all strategically deployed to influence user interactions and outcomes. So, in the context of upskilling initiatives, which are aimed at AI and cloud technologies, I think prompt engineering techniques can be leveraged to enhance user interaction and learning experiences in a plethora of ways. Like, for instance, be it personalized learning paths or the adaptive feedback support or interactive simulations and case studies. So this is a very uh, I think it's a very interesting part when we talk about interactive simulations, because integrating prompts within interactive simulations and case studies so as to engage your learners in experiential learning experiences, it by itself it involves guiding the users through decision making processes, right? uh, and then the next is, I think, what we can talk about is social learning and collaboration, because utilizing prompts to promote, uh, we all know, like, why we are utilizing this prompt engineering. It's basically to utilize, uh, we utilize them to promote social learning and collaborate among learners within, say, online training communities or any other collaborative projects. For example, prompts can actually facilitate discussions. You can have peer feedback exchanges or group assignments, encouraging interaction and knowledge sharing among peers, and bringing in a sense of community and collective learning. So that's how I think prompt engineering techniques have changed the entire dimensions of uh, how even the technologies by themselves can be utilized. uh, I think prompt engineering to an extent is a meta technology, a meta AI technology, I would say. It's just a skill and art of giving prompts to the AI tools so that you can make the most out of it.
So yeah, we understood. It was so much the technical insights from you, but yeah, that was helpful for the answer. So moving on to, as I said, moving on to the last section of the session. So Aishwarya, my next question to you will be the what are the primary challenges that you see industry is facing today in upscaling employees in artificial intelligence and cloud technologies things?
Okay, so I think one of I would say there are like a couple of challenges. First is that as the other panelists have already highlighted regarding just the whole budgeting and trying to find out, trying to convince the leadership and sort of just build a case that using AI or cloud is going to be beneficial for the business. So I think we have talked about that challenge already. But I think like a more severe challenge, which I feel is that, if you take a look at many of the industries where actually AI is going to be very super helpful. So we see that AI is not very super helpful in like, extremely creative things, or like, just writing articles or those kind of things, or making films and all those kind of things. So it gives very repeated answers and stuff like that. So in terms of creativity or original thinking, it's not that great. But like in terms of finding, yeah, like patterns among a very large amounts of data. So if you take a look at which sectors do we generally have it, so unfortunately the sectors for whom AI will be super helpful are actually the ones who resist AI the most. So if you take a look at it, health sector is one such sector which can very much benefit from AI, because AI can help analyze thousands and thousands of DNA patterns and try out different combinations of chemicals or drugs to come up with medicines which could cure diseases and whatnot. And most of the healthcare stuff which we have, is a lot of it is on paper and is totally unmanaged. But at the same time, healthcare sector is very resistant to adopting AI. And same can be said about sectors like insurance, for example, and just the government policy making and stuff like that. So these kind of sectors are still, a lot of it is on paper, and they are not really on the cloud and AI at all. And even if you come up to them with AI or cloud related solutions, there's a lot of resistance from them, which I totally understand, because cloud is, I wouldn't say that data in the cloud is totally private or it's totally secure and all those kind of things. So I think for me, the most major challenge in general, organizations and different sectors adopting AI is just to be able to find AI solutions which are going to keep their data protected, because data related to government policies, data related to insurance or health, that can be very much misused if it gets into the wrong kinds of hands. Like if there is just normal data, maybe just like Instagram post or something, oh, well, I don't think that's a really serious, data. For many people it may be, but for me, maybe not. But insurance data and all those kind of things are much more severe. So I think one of the main challenges, I would say, is to provide more secure AI and cloud technologies, so that sectors like insurance or health, which are still very much non-digitized, they can also slowly adopt AI and cloud, and then can sort of benefit from it. So I think that's what I believe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aishwarya. My next question will be to Mr. Vijay Panwar. So, sir, what strategies or initiatives are organizations undertaking to upskill employees, as I said, in AI and cloud technologies, in your views?
Okay, that's a very interesting topic actually. So the organization actually taking a lot of steps these days, like upscale their workforce in artificial intelligence and cloud technologies. Uh, the first thing is learning and development. Like the companies, the workforce is actually putting comprehensive amount of time and the money into the certain programs where their employees can upskill their talents. But before doing that, they also try to learn from their employees, like what is their areas of interest, like where they want to do or what they want to learn new in AI and cloud environment. So that is very important, and that's where organizations are taking a lot of steps, lot of initiative by providing a learning and development program, planning out everything. If you are interested in data, if you're interested in web, if you are interested in other stuffs like financial data, like how you can use AI and cloud there. Second thing is partnershiping with educational institutes, which is very important because the recent graduate and undergraduate students, they're going to come to the company environment directly. Like we hire them, they come and they start working. But it is very important for the technical institute to understand what is the technological area or expertise the companies are looking. If the institute's gonna keep teaching them the old stuff which is outdated right now or which is not utilized by any industry right now, so what is the point of spending 4 years in undergrad and then 2 years in master's degree to gain and then come to the market and they will be like, oh, we never teach them, we never learn those things. So organization is actually going into campus where they are giving a seminars, letting them know like what we are working on, what are the new trends are going on, and getting into with the staff or the professor teachers like to add the new curriculum courses in their advancement and understand and let them know we are working on AI, we are working on cloud technology. So can you please teach your students to how or get a brain like a training on them or hand-on experience like in their labs or something to try to develop something or understand the technological effort they can get when they pass out. The another thing is internal programs. Internal programs is very important for any organization. This is why. So for an example, you have a on-prem server which is processing a data for you, which is talking to multiple servers in your organization, and which is sending you a data in like 25 seconds per minute, right? Like this is 250 gigabytes of data you are getting out of the servers, and that's much how much time it's taking. But the same thing, the employees can like learn by utilizing the cloud technology there. So that's the place where they can compare apple to apple in the labs. What is the performance you are seeing? If they want gonna try something new, how they gonna adapt the new technology? So the corporation is putting a lot of efforts on that, setting up the labs for their employees where they can practice, where they can compare the results without impacting the production environment. They can like compare the results, give them, hey, this is what I achieved with the new technology. Then put the proposal, hey, we're gonna use this XYZ technology here in our system like a cloud or AWS cloud or Google cloud or Azure, so we can enhance our performance by 20%, 30%, and which will improve the company efficiency or is going to bring a lot of customers or money to the company bank. And the last part is leveraging the external experts. This will like providing a workshop, providing a seminar from the expertise from that particular field, which will come to the companies and give them a seminar or provide them a insightful knowledge what the new trends are going in. For an example, from AWS communities, people will come to the company and let them know, hey, we are working on this new cloud technology called Global Accelerator, which is going to help you from when you are going from one place to another place while you sending the data. So that will provide you like faster response. You don't need to go from point A to point B directly. The point B will reach out to point C. So the best example is if your data center is in LAX, but you are reaching out to Australia, that's like a very big latency going back and forth. But using the new technology that AWS is working on, like Global Accelerator, instead of coming from Australia to LAX, is going to go to the nearest their data center. Then their AI path will identify which is the optimal path to reach to the LAX. But we are cutting the path in between. So if the industry expert won't able to explain those things like what are the new initiative is going in market, so then how the employee or how the company will know how we can use them. So like external experts like workshop and seminar very insightful for industries, and that will help like future direction of artificial intelligence and cloud technology progress and what are the new products are coming in the market.
Thank you, Vijay. I guess the new methods you told, which we all the technical graduates in this generation will relate to you, that they feel the same when they go out in the job industry. And I think these are the valuable inputs by you to, for the industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Ketan Rathor, my last question to you is: how do you prioritize which skill sets are to focus in someone's upskilling efforts? So, how do you answer that?
Yeah, that's a very hard question, I'll say, on which technology to concentrate on. I'll go reverse. When there is a business manager, a CXO level person, he just needs the end result. He needs, when I say end result, that means data, so that he makes a good decision. How that data comes up in the background is something which the technologists have to figure it out. So which technology should I concentrate on? whichever technology they start with, they have to look at the end result, how quickly they can take out the data, how efficiently they can store, how efficiently they can manage the cybersecurity part of it, and then come up with a meaningful information. So there are, I mean, the easiest of the thing, there are tools which are available, just drag and drop, and then you'll get all the information you need. But then there are applications which are so rigid because of the algorithms inside it. So my advice to those team members who are trying to figure out which technology, the answer is you should have a mindset to be portable in terms of your technology. This is very important. You just can't get tied up to a technology. Some of the panelists said that yes, a few decades back there was some technology. Today things have changed. Look at yourself. Which mobile are you carrying today, and how did you communicate 20 years back? How did you communicate today, and how are you going to do that tomorrow? So whichever technology you are picking up, go to the core, understand how the database is set up, understand how do they tie up in terms of the applications, whether it's in the middleware, how portable it is. These are some basic stuff which needs to be identified. Once you choose a technology and then you port yourself to a new technology, you should be able to correlate it, unwind yourself, unwind your mindset, and embrace the new technology. The fundamentals will remain the same. It is just that how you operate and how quickly you learn the syntax, how quickly you understand the database structure, how are you indexing things, and then putting it in a meaningful format to your CXOs. That's where the end goal is. So if you get tied up to a technology, it's be difficult. Now, the $1 million question of for young graduates when they come out of college is, how do I know which technology I should take? Okay, we just start. You're fresh. That's your biggest advantage. You know, you just want to learn something. So looking at your end goal, looking at with, okay, I'll work only on database because I don't want to face my customers. Fine. So you select that technology. Someone says, okay, I just like to do middleware because I like to interact with different technologies and I don't want to be tied up to one technology. Okay, so you select that middleware technology. Then someone says that, hey, I want to understand the requirements from the CXOs and then turn it out into see which technology suits them. So I might want to do the UX part. Look at the iPhone, see the UX part in it, and see some other phones also, and you'll figure out how the UX works. So that, depending on your inquisitiveness of understanding new things, how you want to work, you select those technologies. But most importantly, don't get hung up into that mindset. You will then have to select the new technology. You will have to upgrade yourself with time, and not only this, shift gears. Since you have knowledge about middle of database, shift to middleware. If you have knowledge about middleware, shift yourself and see how it works in other applications in the, let's say, somewhere in the banking industry, somewhere in the manufacturing industry where ERPs are there. See how you can make yourself relevant to the research area where you will have to experiment, you will have to simulate many things. So that's how you start with one activity. Once you know the full cycle of it, shift to new technology, and then shift towards other applications so that in the next 10 years, when you are having a full life cycle of multiple technologies, you will be the person who will be the most sought after in the industry. And the industry leaders will come to you, not the reverse, which is now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ketan. That was very helpful for the generation which are or the people who are trying to upskill themselves and grow in the career. So these insights are really helpful for them. So people, the last question of the day to Mr. Pratik once again. So Pratik, uh, as an organizations increasingly rely on the cloud-based services for data storage, processing, what measures should be implemented to safeguard intellectual property from potential breaches or unauthorized access? As we can see, there is a advantage as well as disadvantage of learning internet. Pratik, you are on mute. Sorry.
Arjun.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there are a bunch of things that uh, organizations can do to protect the intellectual property from such breaches. Like I mentioned in one of my questions that was asked to me, I talked about who has the ownership of data in today's day and age of artificial intelligence. So who does the ownership lie with? So these are the various concerns which are rising, and there have been a lot of governmental chaos as well around this. So I think, in my opinion, uh, there are a bunch of things which can be factored in, such as encrypting your data, looking at some of the identity and access management things like two-factor authentication or role-based access management, multi-factor authentication. Then there are regular security audits and compliance checks which can be done by the organizations to implement such safeguard measures around the intellectual property from the potential breaches. Then you have the secure backup and disaster recovery. So when you talk about the secure backup and disaster recovery plan, here you essentially implement the entire backup and DR mechanisms to protect your intellectual property. There are other factors such as whether you would like to have your data shared across cloud, or you would like to have your own private cloud, or you would still like to be traditional enough and have everything on premises rather than moving on to the cloud because of there might be some compliance or regulatory issues that your industry specifically may be facing. Um, then employee training and awareness. Is your workforce trained enough, and is it aware enough of the uh, things such as breaches and data theft that is happening? There are a lot of deep fake related false technologies which are implemented to lure people, and that can happen in case of that can be, I mean, superficially layered upon and blanketed over your data, so that in one way or the other there could be false masking of data, and the entire data can be robbed from your organization. So these, I think, are the some of the steps on a very high level that one can think of while safeguarding the intellectual property.
I agree. I agree, Pratik. And also, I guess being honest, or while learning the new technologies or new techniques, this should be kept in mind that this should be used for a better work only, but not to harm anyone. So that is a really big part of technology innovations. Along with the betterment, we have some disadvantages. But yeah, your insights were really helpful to know that area. So
Thank you.
thank you so much, everyone. Mr. Pratik, Ketan Rathor, Mr. Vijay Panwar, and Miss Aishwarya. I'm really thankful to all of you for providing your expertise and insights on the different topics in the technology and innovation sectors. It was a really helpful session, and I'm sure that this will help a lot of people, employees, the students, and the businesses which are only tech driven and based on technology. So we are really thankful for you, and this is for the day. We will again meet up for the next session with a new topic uh, in the next panel discussion or webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.
So I have a question, like, I mean, since all of us have network today, is there a way we can, further collaborate on a couple of things maybe, and share our email IDs or contact details so that that's helpful in the future? it's an open question.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, cool. I'll just drop in my LinkedIn and maybe we all can connect on LinkedIn and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep,
sure. Yeah, we will also arrange. If you guys are okay, we will arrange your LinkedIn profile links in our video description when we will release this video on different platforms. If you all okay with it.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much again, all of you. It was really nice to have a discussion with such eminent personalities like you. Looking forward to hear you again and meet you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.